like I've seen so many people step out to experience, like, ever since I left, I have felt so good. And my answer was just wait. Because many times when we just cut and run, it does give you temporary satisfaction and temporary relief. And then the guilt starts coming in.
Oh, yeah.
I've had it happen so many times with when somebody wanted to just cut and run and walk away from the ministry, like painful nights. I'm like, oh, I felt that was horrible, but yet it was, I'm so glad that they left because all that tension that we had with them is gone. But then as the time progressed, I started missing that person because I forgot about the pain and I continued to remember the person and I missed them.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oftentimes resistance to something new is actually an invitation for you to go higher and to change your internal structure. Like I said before, it is simple for us to make the analogy of you need to change gears going from single to married. You need to change gears from going from married and one kid, married and two kids. You need to change the system from a 1,000 square foot house to a 3,000 square foot house. You need to change the system from managing one business to managing a church, a business, a family, and friendships. Like you have all of these plates starting to stack up. And so many times we think that we need to just we think that we just need to do more to get more. But that's not the case. We need to think of this as how shall I say? You need to separate finite from infinite. Finite from infinite. Time is finite. But there are so many other things that are infinite. So many times we actually try and grow and to do more by using finite things. There's only so much time for you to do more, but if you add more to your plate than time will allow, in the current gear that you're in, you'll be just like that. You'll be trying to go 80 miles an hour down the highway in first gear. Finite. It's limited. First gear is limited. Second gear is limited. Third gear is limited. And so within that, we need to turn to other resources that are infinite. Now, as much as you and I might think, money is in a sense, I think, infinite.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
In the grand scheme, maybe not for us right now.
Yeah, no, and that statement is not a truth in reality. It's a truth in mindset.
For sure.
It's not like trillions and trillions of dollars are going to flow into your bank account just because. Like it's not infinite in the fact of it can actually physically happen. But if you have that mindset of there's resources and things at my disposal,
for sure,
to help me in this path, to make changes, to make movements, to do more with the same amount of time. Because if you look at, and going back to not comparing, but if you want to say you're busy, that's okay. But look at the 24 hours that other people spend in use.
Yeah.
And what comes of that.
100%.
So it's not necessarily I don't have time to. I said this phrase for many years, and I still say it to this day. It's like, I used to say a lot of time, well, I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
I started to say, I choose to not make time for that.
100%.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
You can say no.
For sure.
Now, if you say no enough times at work, you might lose your work, but hey. But what I'm saying is at the end, to make that all a nice little bow, the infinite resources that you have don't necessarily mean that they're all going to come flooding in.
100%.
You just have to tap into them as you can reach them.
For sure.
So maybe like for a mom that's just stressed out, if you can find a way to not use all your time to clean, but you find a resource as a cleaner and you find a path to which that can pay for itself almost.
Yeah.
Do it. If you're in ministry and you need to X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
like for you, whenever it came to like administerial stuff, it's like you shouldn't be going to the bank doing all the deposits. You shouldn't be paying every bill. You shouldn't, like, those are things that over time as we've grown. Now, when we first started, you were doing all
You got to get it done.
but
That's the part,
that's
though.
the first gear.
First gear.
But
100%.
now, once you get to that next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 gears,
For sure.
you then start delegating. You start dropping things off that don't have the same weight that they used to have. That,
Yep.
and I think that's a lot of it for a lot of people is they're just not willing to give up
Yeah.
something to get something else.
For sure.
And that, sorry.
No, you're good.
And that's where, like, I'll even bring it back to relationships. Like, sometimes you have first gear friendships.
Mhm.
And when you hit second, third, and fourth gear, you will not be friends with those first gear friendships.
Yeah.
Not because they're not bad people, not because you're not bros for life or you're not besties, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's simply because anytime you get around people that are one gear people and you're starting to hit that third gear, they try to reach over and shift you down into first with them.
Yeah.
So we have to understand that it's not a bad thing. They're just not there yet. And if that's it, that's it. That's fine. That's why whenever I went to college, I remember I went to college with a very specific prayer. I said, Lord, I want to go to college. I'm going to Bible college for you. I need friends that are married.
Yeah.
Do not bring me single friends.
Yeah. True.
I don't need that influence. I don't need to have that time away. I want to spend time with couples who are walking through the same thing. And the first 2 friends that we had were couples. But then one of my others was he was a good friend. And I didn't really start becoming friends with him until late second year, early third year. And then he got married or he got engaged that third year. So it was like even the people that were single that I was quote unquote friends with, they were on that same path as me. Yeah. And now just to see that one of those couple friends are still our best friends to this day. Like we can text them whenever it may take them 2 months to text back, but we all know that we're good with it. But that's what I'm saying. So you have to also evaluate your resources as in your relationships, because a relationship is a resource. Yeah. It at the end of the day, it is what it is. But you have to understand that resource of relationship has to shift with you,
for sure,
or it's going to shift you down.
I'll speak into that too, because in college I didn't go into it with that.
Now you know why I went into it with it?
Why?
Because you didn't go into it with it.
No. And so I'll give you my example. When my relationships, I had 2 groups of friends.
Yeah.
I had young single friends that I would hang out with one night. But then I had married, like drawn to tons of married older friends that we were like a son and a daughter, Cassie and I.
Yeah.
I got in so much trouble. Did so many stupid things with the single people. 100%. But always was edified and lifted up with my more mature friends.
Yep.
And so guess who I don't have a relationship anymore?
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a relationship. I don't even talk to the other people that I went to school. But I still, to this day, will talk to those who are married and in the same season that we are in.
Yeah.
They were farther ahead and they drew us farther ahead.
Yeah.
And so within that, I want to go back to this whole idea of infinite versus finite. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I need you to realize that time is finite. Don't do your best to change as many gears so you don't rely on finite things to meet infinite needs. Okay? That's the clause. That's the trap, okay? That I'll just do more to get more done, which in one season is fine. But sometimes you can only get to second gear. You can't ride on the highway in second gear. Finite things will only get you at a certain point than infinite things. What we need to start doing is trying to use infinite things so we can do more, go faster, reach farther. And it's not to abuse infinite things. Yeah. That's the thing that we need to realize. You could get into abuse. I see relationships with people is infinite because you can have an unlimited amount of people that you surround yourself with. Money is infinite. Like there are so many other principles that are infinite. And when I say that, I want you to get into a point that you can do, like there was 1 month in 23 in my side business, I made $22,500 in just one side business. When that happened, I was like, holy
Derek came to
crap.
work with his collar popped.
No, no,
gold
no, no,
chain.
no, no, no.
He goes,
I mean, it all was used, and so that was in. Yeah, it was all used.
used. That's very,
yes, very
very,
much so.
very structurally.
But here's the thing.
Good word for it.
I never thought in a million years that this one business could bring in that much money in a month.
Yeah.
And so I had the same amount of time every single June.
Yeah.
But for some odd reason, something shifted, and an infinite resource went from this amount to this amount
Yeah.
just by using the same amount of time. Are you seeing
Yeah.
the leverage that I'm talking
Yeah.
about here? And so when it comes to infinite resources, don't just think that you need to do more
Mhm.
to get more, because that will only take you so far.
Mhm.
We should not bring more time. We should bring more value,
Mhm.
not just time. It's not about an equation where you are strategically doing this, this, and this, and this to get this. It is about me realizing that I need to find out different ways for me to make more money with the same amount of time. And so making more of an infinite resource by using a finite resource.
Mhm.
Okay. And so some people are in a phase where you just have to go get a second and third job. You have to
Mhm.
use your finite time because you have no leverage with money. You just don't have it. Pastor Anthony Milas said these things. You have three resources.
Mhm.
You have people. I can't do it that way. You have people, you have money, and you have time.
Mhm.
He says you need to use two of those to grow the third,
Mhm.
or you need to use two of those just to grow. If you don't have money, you need people and time.
Mhm.
If you don't have time, you use people and money. If you don't have people, use your time and your money to grow.
Mhm.
So those are the three. That's just a quick equation. Now, let's move on from there and try and get into this whole idea of growing and gear shifting. Now,
Mhm.
we'll just go through some quick examples to try and get us to a point and a place, so that way, if the person watching online, let's just give them some examples and ideas. And so, with that being said, like let's just recap real quick. Resistance is often an invitation
Mhm.
to grow your system, not change your season.
Mhm.
It's an invitation to grow your system, not your season.
Can I just add one thing?
Yeah.
It's an invitation.
100%.
Meaning, if it's an invitation, you can deny the invitation.
That's why I love that word.
It's not necessarily you have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to have 8 kids.
Yeah.
You can choose how many you have.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a 3,000 square foot house.
Yeah.
You can choose to have a 1,200 square foot house. And a lot of times we get into situations and scenarios where I had to.
Yeah.
Who had to?
Mhm.
You wanted to.
Yeah.
You didn't have to.
Yeah.
So that just a
No, I love that.
Because
It's
a lot
a great
of times
way
people
for us to stop and selah.
yeah, because people think, well, I had to go buy a bigger house. No,
Yeah.
you didn't have to.
For sure.
You wanted to.
For sure. So let's get into some systems. Like right now, if you're experiencing like you're overheating, you're burning out, that's what we're really wanting to talk about, is just addressing burnout, not to just change the situation, but change the gear that you wear in to match the season.
Going from burnout to burnout.
That works.
You see what I said?
I did. Fast and the Furious right there.
Going from burning out.
Ejectocito, cuz.
Ejectocito, cuz.
Listen, that's so many times we think that if we would just hit the ejectocito, that's the thing. So many people think, like I've seen so many people step out to experience, like, ever since I left, I have felt so good. And my answer was just wait. Because many times when we just cut and run, it does give you temporary satisfaction and temporary relief. And then the guilt starts coming in.
Oh, yeah.
I've had it happen so many times with when somebody wanted to just cut and run and walk away from the ministry, like painful nights. I'm like, oh, I felt that was horrible, but yet I'm so glad that they left, because all that tension that we had with them is gone. But then as the time progressed, I started missing that person, because I forgot about the pain and I continued to remember the person, and I missed them. Had I just not ejectocito, because fine, if you want to leave, just leave.
Yeah.
And I would have fought like Jesus did to fight for his disciples. Like the disciple Peter, he said, I'm praying for you. Satan has asked to sift you like wheat, but Peter, I'm praying for you.
Mhm.
Like when we just, instead of being like, oh, Peter, you're an idiot. Like, get behind me, Satan. It'd be better if you were out of my life. Now, I'm not saying that not every person needs to be in your life. There are some times that are good, but we need to learn that just because you've cut and run from a relationship, you've cut and run from a job, you might feel, if it's not God, you will feel temporary relief, but eventually there might be something that creeps in and takes you down. And so that's why I am so much more about creating a system. And if you've done all you can for change the system to match the season and it's still not working, then alone. If you've got that word from God, if you tried everything that you possibly could in the natural to make this work, then you can change your season. But up until that point, until you've had all those the confirmations, let's do everything that we can to change our strategy, change our system to match our season.
Yeah.
And so with that, I'm going to scroll down here. Sometimes systems are what we do to relieve the weight of something. I've even heard it this way. I don't do this, but some CEOs, they wear the same thing every day. Mark Zuckerberg, he's changing a little bit now. There's so many different people that they just don't like. Craig Rochelle, he eats the same thing every single day.
Yeah.
Why? He just doesn't. He's like, he gave his assistant 3 options to say, bring me that lunch. 3. Like for me, that's the same thing. I eat rice and meat. Like, it's the same thing almost every day. Like, it's really easy. I don't have to think about meal prep. Another system when it comes to cooking is when I start the grill, I'm not cooking 1 meal.
No.
I cook 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Like when my wife cook, like when I make rice in the Instant Pot, I'm not making dinner. I'm making dinners and lunches. Like that's a system change that makes it so that way when the week comes up, I know what's happening. Planning your calendar, system change. Knowing what's coming, to be proactive instead of reactive, that's a systems change. Instead of waiting until the end of the month and figure out how am I going to pay these bills, maybe begin the month with knowing how you're going to pay the bills by thinking ahead. Can I give you a principle the Lord showed me last week during Hearing from God class?
Do what you got to do.
If we want to stop living paycheck to paycheck, stop planning paycheck to paycheck.
I'm going to let you cook on that one because that was you, not me. So
if we want to stop living paycheck to paycheck, stop planning paycheck to paycheck. Zoom out. We just got done with creating the church's budget. We started with zooming out. What's our projection for this year? And we plan from there. I got to thinking, holy crap, why don't I do that with my own finances? Even how we've created our budget, we look at it per month, not per year. And in doing so, we've limited ourselves to what we're making now, not to trying to create ways to grow that big number for the whole year. And so if we want to stop living paycheck to paycheck, stop planning paycheck to paycheck. Think ahead. How do we need to grow? And so many times, like, it is good. Your number one way for you to better your system of budgeting is to find how to cut the waste. We can cut the fat. We've got to cut the fat. It's got to happen.
Well, only two, when it comes to budgets, there's only 2 things you can do. Make more or spend less.
Exactly.
That's the only 2 things you can do.
Start with cutting more, but you can only cut so much fat. You can't cut off of your mortgage because your mortgage is due. That's a problem. So many people try and think of ways how to better use their money, but they don't take time. Again, this is the value versus time thing of thinking, how can I get into, like, make more money? And this is a thought process that actually, obviously the Lord told me to get out of the rental business. And so I did. I was sitting down with another business leader yesterday, and I was telling him it wasn't only the word from God that led me to shutting it 90% down, not 99%. I have 1 machine still that I want to keep because I use it very continually. Then I'll rent it just to pay its payment until I own it in 2 years, and then whatever happens after that, then it's done. And so the reason why I got out was because I was noticing from that year that I made $22,500 in 1 month to last year, there was a consistent, measurable decrease on the desire of people wanting to rent a piece of equipment. And so within that, I felt like 2 things. Number one, the Holy Spirit, because in that moment, I had 2 choices. I needed to get more debt and hire someone to manage it because I couldn't use my time to grow it anymore. I was maxed out. So I had to find a different season. There was 2 options. Either I shut it down to the point where it's easy, or I needed to grow exponentially, use debt, use time, hire somebody to take it over and train them to take it over. Those are 2 options to grow. And I, through the word of the Lord, decided to shut it down. But when I sat down with this business leader, I said, another reason what made me realize to shut it down was because I was noticing a decline of trend. And so had I gone and got another $250,000, I didn't have a $250,000, but if I got $250,000 more of loans to buy equipment to pay somebody a salary now that I wasn't paying before, it would have brought more taxation on my mental health and worry that would have taken away from my main thing of the church. And so we made the decision ultimately, obviously, the number one thing was the word of the Lord, but also through facts to shut it down. And so that was a gear change that over this last year that has led to a completely different capacity. I'm actually at a point where I kind of miss it. But that's when you know you did the right thing. Like the Lord told me, the market analysis was this. We got rid of it, but now I'm ready to take a step into something more. And so, again, there's so many more things I can go into that like I want to, but there's just not enough time. But those are just some like calendar, planning out your week, planning out your meals.
And one little thing I want to add to this is find something where you can do it once and it pays dividends over and over and over and over again.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Find something where if you do it once, the work is done and you can get royalties from it. Not necessarily in the money aspect, but that's another avenue. But it's also like find something where you do it once and now you don't have to think about that anymore. Or you don't have to do that anymore. Like meal prepping. I'm gonna cook for 3 hours on a Sunday afternoon.
For sure.
So I don't have to cook an hour a day for the next 6 days. So I'm
saving 3 times.
3 hours.
3 hours.
I'm saving, but I'm putting it all the pressure on a Sunday. So it's like find something you can do once that pays more later. And that goes into investing in everything. Buy low, sell high. Like if you can do stuff at a better rate earlier, that's going to pay you later.
For sure.
That's what you want to do. If you can set up your schedule so it looks similar every single week, then you know it's easier to do my calendar when I have a rhythm. When I already have a plan of what I want to do. I just got to sit down and plug in the little things that pop up.
Absolutely. And so within that too, I'm going to give you 4 core things that you can take from this moment. 4 core things. We are going very much longer in this episode than I wanted to, but I hope everybody is still getting a lot from this and not feeling bored. 4 things. We're going to close with these 4 things, and the 4 core of these are
Core 4.
Core 4. This is what you do. This is what you do. I just did a message. Look at the Revive Church website, Church Center app, YouTube. It's called Better is Greater Than Bigger. Okay? And there's one principle I didn't teach in that. And that was the core 4. We teach this we've done this for the last year and a half at Revive Church with our leadership. This is how we establish changes. Like we don't make a change, we don't innovate, we don't train something until we first do these 4 core. Or start with this process. Number 1, educate. If you find yourself resisting change or overwhelmed, whatever it may be, number 1, you need to focus on what are your main issues? What are your biggest pinch points? Is it time? Is it capacity? Is it that you're not doing something to the fullest potential that you can? Or are you doing those meals every single day when you could literally just be doing meal prep for 3 hours rather than 7 hours of cooking during the week? So you saved yourself 3-4 hours there. And so number 1, to change and to become better, is you have to educate yourself. You've got to learn. What am I learning to become better? What am I learning? What books am I reading? What podcasts? That's why it's constantly important. Don't just constantly fill yourself with Netflix and chill and all these other things that just fill you with information that's entertaining. We need to constantly be filling ourselves with things that are going to be transformational. Things that are going to help us, teach us, learn us, like spiritually, emotionally, physically, in business, in money management. We should constantly be filling ourselves. Even if you read a book and it's really, really good, if you have that, go back and read the book again. I have read The Fourth Wall Secrets that 97% or 96% don't know. I've read that book probably 3 different times. Love it. It's such a good book to continually remind yourself. So educate yourself. The next step, once you're educated, you innovate. The innovation is from what I just learned. What am I going to apply to change the gear that I'm in? It's not just you bringing in information. It's about using that information to make a change. That's the key. We don't want to make change before education, because change without education will lead you down the same exact path that you were before. You'd be like a 16-year-old.
Or even dumber.
Even dumber. Like, why didn't this work? Well, because you didn't ask somebody if it would work or not. I could go into stories of Chris Valentine with that, but we won't get that. Education first. Innovation. What are you going to do with what you learned? Number 3 is
Oh, sucker! You got to ask me right here, right now.
Right now.
I know what
Right
it is.
now. Testing.
You evaluation.
Evaluation, yes.
That's what it was.
And so when you've learned, you innovate. You
I
make
almost
the
lost
change.
my job, y'all.
Our producer Nate's just smirking behind the camera. I'm going to get to the next one next. He's sweating bullets now.
Duplication.
Yeah, okay. So the first, education, innovation. Education, what am I learning? Innovation, what am I doing with what I'm learning? Evaluation, is what I actually changed? Is it working?
Yeah.
It works for Dan Martell, but is it working for Derek Kerber?
Yeah.
It's working for Elon Musk, but is it working for Sean Kerber? Like, whatever you've learned, doesn't matter who it's from, is it actually working, or do we need to make another change? Do we need to go back to education?
Education.
Or do we need to go back to innovation? Or do we need to do...
I can't.
Or do we need to continually evaluate to figure out, okay, what do I need to change? All right? You need to do those three. Let's do them. Don't just continually evaluate. Evaluation without innovation absolutely leads to insanity. What is it? Paralysis by analysis.
Yes.
And then once you've educated, innovated, holy crap, here and evaluated.
Yeah, there we go.
We move into the fourth step, which is the gear changing mode. Duplication. Who do I need to raise up to take this? Who do I need to give this to? Like, do I have to hand this task of my house over to my kids?
What do I need to buy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there any type of like AI, or is there some type of technology that can make this easier? What can I automate? That's duplication. Like all of those types of things. Like if you're worried about bills, put them on automation.
Yeah.
Put them in a schedule. There was one time I sat down with a couple and they're like, how am I going to pay my mortgage this month? Was there an option for you to do bi-weekly payments? Actually, yeah. Oh my gosh, I have enough for half. I can do the other half in 2 weeks. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It just took one quick thing of evaluation.
And you pay it off faster.
You pay it off faster. And so they had the money for half the payment. They didn't have the money for the whole payment. The bank don't care as long as they're going to get their money over time. And you'll pay it more. And so those are just 4 quick ways. You educate yourself. You innovate with what you educated yourself with. You evaluate, is it actually working? And you duplicate. What do I need to include? Someone or something to make this so I can duplicate my value, duplicate my capacity, duplicate changing gears. And you continue that process over and over. Then you take another gear, you do another path, you add something more, you educate yourself. Every new season requires a new system. Don't ruin the season you're in or discount yourself for the next season you want to step into because you've neglected the system you need to be in. With that being said, that's all I got.
That's all you got. And you're
burnt out.
You're burnt out now. So now I have to take over and I have to educate.
Innovate. Evaluate, duplicate.
Yeah, whatever the core 4 is. Yeah, you didn't warn me about that before heading in here, so I didn't get to stare at a poster and be like, okay, this is what it says. Okay. But anyways, thank you all for joining us. It's been a fun time. It always is. I love this time. If you have anything you would like us to talk about, if you have our number, text us. If not, you can always comment. You can always subscribe. Yeah, I want to write this down. Subscribe. Hit the bell to know when we release episodes. We'd love to be able to impact your life in any way that we can.
Amen.
And we love you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace out.